exactly. Yeah. Yeah. You once said you tend to view the world history through arts, and
Yes.
I would like to know, does that include mythology too? Because
Sure.
personally, as you know, I'm from I've been born in Iraq, and the land has its civilization, all civilizations have nothing,
Yes.
not really related to the modern culture, but you know, I tried to understand the world, why they thought the way they thought, where are these universal patterns that repeat themselves in history, and not just in Mesopotamia, in Egypt, and in Europe too, and the Old Greek. So does your conception include mythology too?
It includes it especially.
Mm-hmm.
So I start with civilizational analysis, with geography, demographics, and technology during after the two dark ages. So in particular, I'm interested in the transition, the restoration of mythology after the Bronze Age collapse, and how mythology changed. And that was extremely interesting, what happened there. But generally, I mean, if you think about it, the human mind needs a way of calculating complexity as the populations change. And so as we get bigger and bigger, we become more and more anonymous. So we need better and better ways of coordinating our efforts. And we need those to be very loose algorithms, so to speak. And myths basically consist of our group strategy in narrative form. And our group strategies dependent upon our geography, our demography, and the number of competitors we have, and the technology. But what happened is in what they call the age of transformation, or the axial age, right as soon as the Bronze Age collapse starts to recover between 800 AD and onward, is you see that the I don't know how to say it, the group, everybody's mythology anyway, when it comes together, everybody gets anchored in that time frame. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
A mythology is like a religion. Its value is it's very hard to change. It's like nursery rhymes. You know, I teach my kid nursery rhymes, they're the same nursery rhymes that were taught in 1600, right? Right. In other words, the nursery rhyme will persist as long as the language can still communicate it.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense? Well, the same things with mythology. It's indelible. Well, that's good because it is very resistant to manipulation. Mm-hmm. So the same thing for myth and religion is it's very difficult for people to undermine the group's strategy. But on the other hand, it's very easy for that group strategy to fail to adapt to radical changes in circumstances. Mm. That makes sense?
Yes.
So I view these stories, in other words, I view all communication from mythology right down to mathematics as just a hierarchy of decreasing precision, given the context of what we're doing. And I tend to think of all of us as really a lot closer to robots that are running software than people who have agency. And the truth is, even people like you and me and our followers who are nerds, you know, we're part of evolution, making sure that, you know, that somebody actually knows what's going on. But in essence, we have more agency than, you know, very small number of us have that kind of agency to really grasp what's going on in the world. And even obtaining that agency takes, like, as you said, it takes a lot of study to obtain that agency. So,
your role too.
Sorry?
And to understand your own role to play.
Yes.
You're not going to change the world as many youthful dreams. Actually, you can change it, but what you can change, but perhaps what
you can do is you can't change it. Is you can identify, which is how I work. You can identify the coming inflection points where people need an answer, and you can supply the answer when that inflection point happens. So you can't come out of nowhere and generate attention for something people don't want, right? Mm-hmm. But if the market is hitting a point where there's a demand for a solution to the problems of the age, if you can find it, then you can go down in history as, as one of the guys who do it. And that's what history is full of. That's who we remember. People who supply solutions or create problems.
That too is
in history.
And you can function actually as a trigger point. You don't have to change your world yourself, but it's enough to elaborate and explain and right, rearrange the ideas again, make them understandable, accessible to the normal people, and perhaps someone will catch on them and start changing the domino effect. This is a good role we play. Let's